ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folks. Thank you so much for joining me for Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. I am very, very excited to be here. We have two lovely teams for you today. We have VGM versus Team Velocity. So this was our round 5 match. It did have to be postponed until the week following, which of course falls on today. Many of you saw me from the Star Series previously. Again, really sorry, guys. The games ended up being a little bit longer than had originally been anticipated. But teams are rip snorting ready to go, and I know you guys are here to see them, not me, so let's get into it. Moving over to our map bans, picks, all that good stuff. As you can see, we do have banned out by VGM, Alterac Pass, and Brax Holdout. Velocity got rid of BOE and Dragonshire, and our first map of the evening is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Of course, Spiders was picked by the side of our team 2, which is our red team. So let's go ahead and update that. Velocity picked it, which means first pick does go over to the side of VGM. I will let the teams know that we are ready to get going. And then without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into it. So, any minute now. Ask me if I mean Raf. Nope, I'm good. I should be fine. I trust them to unpause for themselves. All right, so without further ado, there we are. Tomb of the Spider Queen. We don't get to cast this one much with everything that's been going on, at least the games that I have been watching. Tomb is a little bit exciting for myself because we've been kind of stuck in the slog of like the same 3 maps, BOE, Infernal Shrines, and Towers of Doom, all of which have been 3-0 series. So very excited to see what the teams are going to bring out on Tomb of the Spider Queen here. So of course you have to address the big guys in the room. Of course, that being that Gazlo is super, super strong right now. Very incredibly overtuned, some are even saying at this point. Diva, who was recently nerfed, still a very powerful off lane. So Gazlo versus Diva might not be that all uncommon, but as we get into it, we are going to see Junkrat and Sylvanas banned away. Of course, not opting to ban those until later on, seeing if you can't have your opponent ban them, of course, and then if the teams want to pick them, they can ban one, the other team has to ban the other, or they ban one, the other team bans the other, and if they don't, then they can just grab that other hero. So a couple of ways to play the drafting phase here as we get started on that. Chromie, of course, so strong still, is going to be taken away. And then there he is, Gazlo banned out. So we'll see if we get a Diva here, or if there is another hero that is just too good to pass up. Jaina has recently risen in priority a little bit after getting her minor buff, thanks to the change to Arcane Intellect, getting that extra 10% spell power while above 75% mana. So maybe we do see the Jaina come out here first, but if I had to suspect, it would be the Diva, who has not been touched yet. Actually opting for the Johanna Cattle, picking up the Joe here. And this is probably the exact same conversation that I just had a couple of, like an hour ago in my last series. I'm like, yeah, you know, it'd be really cool to pick up Diva here. And then they insta-lock the Johanna with the new skin. So funny how that happens. But they have the Joe. This is her best map. And immediately out the gate, we are going to see the Diva and the ETC picked up for Nitori and Chuggy. Still a lot of really solid options available. Now, what could they be thinking here for blue team? Again, Wave Clear is really the name of the game, so Tassadar still available, but it's going to be that Jaina and then the Stukov here. like the Stukov. Tiger picking up that Gina. Ban phase coming out. If I were the side of Velocity, they're going to take the Cassia. I was going to say, I'd be on an off lane, but Cassia, of course, very strong hero as well. Good to get rid of. So, less team fight potential for the side of VGM. On the side of VGM, we'll see if they are going to get rid of maybe a support here. Anduin would be solid. Ana, another really good one, but they're going to actually take away the Tracer. Do not want to be chased down with their really immobile backline so far in the Jaina and the Stukov. Just waiting it out now. Look, I'm very out of the loop when it comes to the drafts these days. The higher level of play, I've been hanging out in Div C, D, and E a little bit too much. We are going to see the Ana and the Kale Foss picked up here. Ana, again, was recently nerfed. Did find a change in that healing grenade. Does tick for a little bit less with that anti-heal. And then, of course, I feel like her numbers were adjusted a little bit. Interestingly, Maka is going to pick up the Genji. And then Yrel coming out, as I think we expected, for Vespertine there. I really like the pickup of ETC and D.Va here, because one of the big plays that we've been seeing is actually offlane ETC, and D.Va has been countering it fairly well. So they took that away from the side. Noah finishing it off with the Thrall. Now, I like this a lot because you could have a 4-man D.Va, you could have a 4-man Thrall. There are a lot of different options here. There's also a pretty thick front line there from the side of Velocity. So we could even see, you know, a Trash Lightning, most likely a Rolling Thunder with a Thrall and the 4-man, just able to pick away at the Yrel, at the Johanna, all that good stuff. So gonna bring it back over to here. It's for me for a moment while we load into game number 1 for our best of 5 series. Sure that is all up to date so everyone knows that it is a best of 5. Teams are loading in rather quickly, and I think I always like to try and kind of do a little bit of a analysis of the draft, trying to figure out who has the better draft. But as we're getting into the game, we do have over here on the side of the, let's hop over to the blue team who we're looking at. Tiger Gate JK on the Jaina. Heavy is going to be your Stukov. Maka on the Genji. Vespertine on that, it's supposed to be Thrall, not Tyrael, or Yrel, not Tyrael. And then over here on the right-hand side, we've got Noah on the Thrall. We've got Caesar Salad on the Ana. Nintori is going to be your D.Va. Mystically's on that Kale Foss, and Dechuggy on that ETC. So immediately trying to do a little bit of damage onto Noah here. We'll get those level 1 talents available for you guys. Just a little bit of harassment coming out from both teams, looking to try and poke each other out. Get that. So, Genji really putting it all out there. Rotations, rotations, rotations. It's the big thing at this level of play. They don't even really try and fight each other. You can see a couple of them even will step up, take a little bit of damage just to grab the soak, grab the gems here. A little bit of a snore fest in the first couple of minutes on Team of the Spider Queen, I feel. We do have that full metal coming out from D.Va. Of course, that is the heal while she is attacking, and you get that extra healing when you're in the bonus damage zone. A little bit of duking it out coming here from Tiger JK and Noah here up in the top lane. Down in the bottom, we always like to highlight our coolest and most attractive players, Vespertine and Nintori. who are grabbing this bottom lane. Soak immediately. Tori comes down. What's going down here? Seeing Maka on this bottom camp, going to step onto it as well. The rest of the members of Velocity are going to step up here and try and clear it out. Going to do so with success. Find the bottom camp. Genji by himself, really not able to do much. Meanwhile, though, that does allow Jaina and Johanna the freedom to just rotate around, get as much soak as they like without anybody stepping up, trying to push them out. In fact, we are going to see it turn in here as Cattle is able to get in all of their gems. Big Sun coming out from Cattle with the Condemn. As the Fire and Ice coming through, everyone is stepping up to clear out. Level 4 on the rise for both teams. VGM gonna hit it just a smidgen quicker than the side of Velocity. Looking fairly standard so far. Rush down. Slide comes out, does not connect. Maka dives in with the Genji. We're going to see the silence come in onto ETC, trying to keep him in the lurking arm as much as possible, but will not result in anything quite yet. We might have spoken a little bit too soon as Tiger is caught out of position, and first blood goes over to the side of Velocity here. They try to find Cattle, but out comes the Iron Skin. They are able to escape. Really solid turn there from the side of the red team. Able to look, try and get these gems in now. We are going to see Caesar Salad looking to do so. Chuggy taking a big chunk of damage, but using that thick, beefy body to step up, making sure no one's able to do too much damage to them. Vespertine coming in here. We're going to see, again, a little bit more damage. Meanwhile, Tiger has respawned. They're going to have Heavy help them to try and grab this camp here. Nobody started it for the side of VGM quite yet. We might see them rotate down in just a little bit, but it looks like their priority is defending these turn-in points here. They are about 10 gems behind, so really don't want VGM to get that camp and turn in. As such, just gonna play the poke game. Nice face melt from ETC using that knockback from the level 4. We're going to see the first turn in go over to the side of VGM here. Going to push up with the camp onto that middle wall, getting quite a bit of damage done. Tori does have the bomb available if they'd like to use it. Johanna does fall into that front hand, just trying to get a little bit more damage in there. Finally, that other camp has been picked up, so that will push along, allowing the members of VGM to have a little bit of respite. But it's actually going to walk past. There we go. Turns around. Kale Foss and Anna gonna damage it out. But top lane seems to be the priority here. Chuggy is stepping up. I don't want to take too much damage. They have 21 gems available right now. Webby falling a little bit low, hitting about the half-point mark. One tower taking quite a bit of damage. Not long for this world. Does find itself down. Damage playing so far back, not wanting to step out and get caught up. It's going to be the Web Weaver falling here. Bottom lane, roughly the same. Actually a little bit more damage here than over here. Diva able to push Urel quite far back. Going to just wait for the moment. Everyone focus on getting that soak over fighting once again. That is going to be just a little bit of a scuffle here in the mid lane. A little bit of a scuffle. Teams just trying to scout out for each other. We're going to see Cattle once again looking to try and step up, turn in. They have 10 gems this time around. Noah has 14. Chuggy 24 to bring this down. Level 10 would be nice for Velocity. They are a little bit closer than VGM in terms of getting those heroic abilities. Noah does find those 14 gems, 40 out of 50, so almost there in the bottom lane. Tori finally looking to turn in as well. They also have quite a bit of gems. The pustule does not hit, but Tori is dissuaded anyway. Gonna see a little bit more poke come out. Urel tries to get in with that Avenging Wrath. Not going to find it. Meanwhile, in this middle lane, again, just the poke right here. Jaina throwing out those ice bolts. Kilboss throwing out those living bombs. Everyone just playing protector of these points here. Mystically's stepping up. Thrall gonna try and turn into 6. Mystically trying to turn into 4. Quick interrupt by Cattle. Nice slide on a Tiger. The Unstoppable is popped. That is going to be the end going down. Level 10 has been picked up by both teams. They're looking to find more. Kel'Thas was hit by that nano boost. Going to look for Genji here, but he's so slippery they don't find it. Another quick boop on to Tiger, and this time with the red web weavers. The biggest wave clear here on the side of VGM does go down. There isn't really much that they can do about it. Gonna look to push again. Top lane, boss lane does have the most priority. Waiting for the webby before taking too much damage. ATC patiently waiting. Does not want anybody with too much sliding out. We'll slide him and kill him. Looking arm has been placed. VGM or Heavy going to move away. Well, goes down. Chucky just zoning. Great loudspeakers there. Tries to slide onto Cattle. Water Elemental is good. Mosh Pit is attempted, does not found. Now Chucky is in real trouble. They do fall. That is 30 gems that is just going to have to be abandoned by the side of Velocity. Maka taking quite a bit of damage, but there's nothing really Tori can't do. They did find a couple of those gems. Were able to salvage some of the damage, but not much. Just gonna back up here. Great zoning by the side of VGM. Let's take a look at some of those heroic abilities. Everything fairly standard here, save the fact. Genji, we did see that Dragon Blade used in the last fight. Of course, the Falling Sword came out. Ardent Defender not picked up. Bottom camp will be picked up by Velocity. And again, only thing that really came out there was Nano Boost and then the Earthquake, which we see is still down. Vespertine will be able to get those 31 gems and making their team so close to the turn-in. Gonna see Tiger and Heavy grab this Bruiser camp before looking to complete that turn-in. And in fact, Maka standing by waiting. Doesn't have quite enough yet, but will look to find that here in a moment. Camps picked up by both teams. Slide on to Cattle. Nano comes out. Phoenix has been dropped. Iron Skin popped immediately. Cattle gets away. Lots of ultimates used on the side of Velocity here. They're just going to try and use the rest of the Nano to clear out the Bruiser camp. Noah gonna look to turn their own gems in as well. Great interrupt once again by Cattle, and the goaltending has just been really on point. And Tori looking to grab a little bit of soak here. Vespertine gonna look to do the same. Tiger gonna step up. Blue Web Weavers were able to be turned in there as such. Going to see a little bit of a race coming out here. Noah stunned out by Cattle. Can the teams find anything before the Web Weavers descend? They're gonna look for anything. Members of Blue have been split round a little bit. And it looks like VGM are going to opt to push this middle fort instead. Blizzard comes out, does quite a bit of damage to that fort. Noah comes down, drops the Feral Spirit, is going to find a Heavy, but they're so far back they don't want to go in for that kill. That's between knocking everybody back. And Jaina goes down in the top lane once again, but a really rough game for Tiger this time round. Chuggy is going to back it up here. Nice unstoppable from Caesar Salad is going to get away, not knocked back by that righteous hammer of Urel. ETC zoning, making sure that the team is going to be safe. And Tori finally joins the fight. Knockback on to Noah. Vespertine running for their life here. Once again, Web Weavers come and Web Weavers go. Not a whole lot gained for the side of VGM. They were able to grab the middle fort, but at this point they are just up fort for fort. Top lane did take a little bit of damage, but currently nobody really in a super stellar over the top position. Going to try and find the aggressive side onto the back line. Falling Sword is used. Tattle looking for Caesar Salad back there. Drops the Falling Sword. Out comes the Earthquake. Maka gets caught in the full KTZ combo. Has to pop the Dragon Blade. Tries to get out. Slide onto Cattle. Drops the Iron Skin Maka is so low. Finally, Living Bomb goes off, ends his life. Jaina drops the Blizzard, making sure everybody is slow. Tori looking for blood, but Cattle is too strong. Johanna, the unkillable tank, gets away, and that is going to be 1 for nothing. Going over to the side of Velocity, are going to look to get this turn in and push even harder. This top lane is so very pushed in. Middle has kind of equalized itself. And then bottom, surprisingly, despite having the Dita, is pushing in favor of VGM. We're going to see, of course, Vespertine clear that out once again, but it looks like the bottom is where the teams are going to look. Great unstoppable there. Mosh Pit comes out. There's no escaping that. Vespertine unable to activate the ultimate ability. Does fall flat on their face, and this is going to be bottom of all places, pushed for the side of Velocity, looking very dominant in this game number 1 here. Level 16 to 15. We do have Kale Foss opting for that Ignite, of course. Does apply Living Bomb if you stand in the Flame Strike. Just a moment away of 16 for the side of VGM. Bottom pushed out well enough, they think. Middle Webweaver has gone down, but they are going to continue to try and get some damage in here. Fort getting low. Danger Ping's coming out. Not sure from which team here. Maka just trying to get a little bit of extra damage into Chuggy. Has to pop that guitar solo. Get a little bit of extra health before backing up. Team's just trying to death ball at this point. Webweaver finally makes her way to the top wall of the keep. There we go. Found it in the end. Couldn't find the word there for a second, but they find the keep. Don't find much more than a little bit of damage onto the tower. And that is going to be check from Boss coming out here from VGM. Worried that the members of Velocity might be up to something. 52 to 73. Both teams very close to another turn-in at this point. We're going to see Vespertine get stuck out here, surrounded by 4 members, immediately dropping that Ardent Defender. But here comes Cattle, finds a 3-man stun. Nano onto Kale Foss. Ana going to be the first to fall down here. Dragonblade doing the Lord's work, but a beautiful Flame Strike into that Thrall Wolf root. Noah over out on the side. Mysticles ETC taken out at once. That is a lot of gems that were killed away. 37 on to Noah. Tori getting away 27 gems, 100 health. They have the bomb ready if anybody tries to chase him down, but it looks like the little mech is just going to try and skitter away. 10 gems lost there, and this should be the turn in as 62 have been picked up for VGM. Going over to the going over to the side of VGM. I just saw Goliath's comment. Even the mighty Maka making poor decisions like killing himself with Living Bomb. We've all definitely been there. Meanwhile, while the turn-in is happening, we will see the bottom camp picked up once again from Velocity. So going to turn that in, get a little bit of a push going. And up here in the top lane, it's looking really solid for VGM, but not where they're looking to push currently, as most of the members, they're rotating up. Looking for Tori. Vespertine going around on the flank, is tanking the Ford, gets the knockback. Negative 20 armor there, or finally stepping back, and Webweaver has made it to the fort. That is going to be the second fort of the game going down in favor of VGM. Webweaver still incredibly healthy, going to push up here, looking to just get as much damage in as possible. Out comes the Phoenix, just trying to do some damage control here. Tori stepping up, members of VGM knowing that they can't really get much more done here, so just gonna back up. And those spiders are really, if nothing else, to reset the waves, reset the map here, as Velocity was pushing in very hard. Once again, Bruisers soaked, the name of the game. Spicy boss play coming in here from Velocity. All 5 members of Blue Team alive with 25% health, and nobody even in the top lane. I don't think they know or care from our blue friends here, as the boss is going to be picked up. Nobody looking to push with it, though. 82 gems from Velocity, not wanting to look to lose any of those. 46 on Noah and counting, as they are going to step up to clear out this bottom, or this middle wave here. Clear out the middle camp. Boss will be dealt with by everybody save Tiger. We are going to see the red web weavers turn in just as the boss is about to go down. One top tower has been taken before the boss finally collapses. A big push coming in here on the top lane. Jaina going to try and clear that out so the web weaver doesn't push up as far. It will start in the middle of the lane. Meanwhile, it looks like Velocity is going to try to look to take advantage of that, use the value of their boss. They end up pushing the wave up a little bit further just as the web weaver spawns nearly at the keep. Quite a bit of difference there than the last wave web weaver with phase we did see from VGM, who are having a difficult time in this game number 1. Not level 20 yet. We will see that a blade of armor coming out for D.Va, which will help into the Jaina and the water elemental, which has been struggling a little bit with. ETC holding their ult to the last moment, implying we may see a death metal coming out here. Thrall, of course, going for the earthen shields, nano infusion, and then the flamethrower. So far, all very standard pickups here. Out comes the Holy Fury as level 20 has been picked up. Nano onto the Thrall this time of all people. Massive shove onto D.Va. We did have that push comes to shove come out. Winter Mute for Jaina, so the mimicking abilities on that water elemental, but it really isn't going to be enough here. Keep was taken in the top lane. Web Weavers finally cleared out another Heaven's Fury. Mosh Pit comes out. We actually ended up with a tour bus there. Big D.Va mech explosion. Kael'thas, the only one going down despite a beautiful Mosh Pit there. That is going to be the chase on to Noah. He's got 35 gems, but the Condemn does not connect. Neither does that Falling Sword. They're trying to find Nintori. He's dashing for all he's worth, using that knockback, but finally it is going to be D.Va falling down. Thrall going down as well. Most of the gems picked up by ETC, but what has been looking like a losing game for VGM. They find the kills right there at the end, and now it's just ETC alive. And with only ETC here, this could be game number 1 going over to VGM. Again, another beautiful Falling Sword, and yeah, GG's should be called momentarily as 23% on the core. ETC isn't even coming out. That is going to be game number 1 going over to the side of VGM. Well done. Hop over to our screen here so we can take a look at the game. And Blue Team actually having a lot more kills despite how it fell. I mean, Tiger got 3. He was over 50% of the team's deaths. There's a lot of hunting going out onto Tiger in that game number 1. Relatively low damage game. Maka doing the most with the 57k. And then, of course, Mysticles with the 41, really carrying it for the team there. Noah and Nintori very close with the 36 and the 33k there. And then, of course, Tiger, 33k as well. Most siege damage, though, 154. Right on par with D.Va's 157. We'll take a look at some of these talents here. We didn't really get a whole lot to talk about. Debilitating Dart, of course, for Ana, which is the slowing the movement speed and reducing the damage dealt by the heroes. Mysticles, Netherwind was the pick there. I know a lot of people debate the Netherwind and the Energy Royale, what's better. So Mysticles opting for that that Netherwind. And interestingly enough, we have the anti-healer, increase the area of biotic grenade by 25% and the duration of the healing reduction by 0.075 seconds. And there's been a little bit of a change that we've seen on Ana ever since the nerfs that she received. Once again, the level 7 Sleep Dart talent was reduced from 10% of a hero's maximum health to 8. And then, of course, the biotic grenade, just as in general, was reduced, I believe, by 0.75 seconds on that grenade, making it difficult for folks to be able to die with the lack of healing. So there are some of those talents. We'll look up here. We do have Hold Your Ground coming out from Cattle. The Conviction getting, of course, the extra movement speed. Subdue coming out, so going with a very standard Johanna build there. Fanaticism, Roar, all that good stuff. The Falling Sword, though, not a whole lot of folks really expecting. It did end up paying dividends for the heroes there. And really, really well done by our friends. We'll hop back over to the map screen so we can go ahead and update that it was picked by Velocity, but ended up going over to the side of VGM Gaming. Update that. And now we just play the waiting game, seeing if the heroes are where we're going to go for game number 3. This is a best of 5, remember, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folks. So hopefully here in a moment we'll have our game number 2, and we will be able to go from there. Remember, if you are enjoying the cast, then please consider supporting everything that makes this happen. If you like supporting the players, you can exclamation mark Maturino in chat so that you can support the players. You can support the prize pool. We're at $1,300 right now, which is an insane amount. And then as well, you can support NGS, but exclamation mark Patreon in chat will bring you to the Patreon. You can support them monthly for as little as $1. All of that goes to making sure that amazing events like Storm Division are put on for the players for our viewing pleasure. And then, of course, last but not least, if you are enjoying the casting this evening, then all of your donations, bits, subs, etc., will go to your caster. So, of course, it will be myself, Jinxie Cat, tonight. And you can check that out by, I believe, exclamation mark caster in chat will. Okay, that actually just brings me to my channel, so you can follow me, see everything when I go live. I do play and cast lots and lots of Heroes of the Storm. I'm a big fan of NGS. We do a lot of work together. Chili Mountain is also another organization that I work closely with. So if you're excited for any of the events coming up there, you can take a look at all of that. So, just waiting another moment. Oh, Manly Music, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I really appreciate that. Hi, Soft Prover. You've seen our channel before? That's nice. Thank you, O'Malley. That's really, really kind of you. I really appreciate that. Got a brand new bits badge. Very nice. Mods, it looks like we have a bot in the chat. So if you guys want to take care of that. Soft Proverb Care. Probably gonna post a link that nobody click that if it does go through, because it just ends up like stealing your credit card data or whatever. I'm gonna go through and see what is happening with our game number 2, because hopefully we'll get there in a minute. All right, cool. Perfect timing. Just as I said that, we get into game number 2. So let's go ahead and update that. Game number 2. We're heading over to Infernal Shrines, and that looks like it was picked by team number 1. So, I is for Infernal Shrines. Once again, this time it's actually going to be VGM taking us to the map. And I'm just gonna let everyone NGS know. There is a spam bot in chat, so hopefully someone will take care of that. Alrighty, I will let them know that I am ready to go, and then we should be ready for game number 2 in our best of 5 series. So even if VGM win this one, we still have one more left to go. So any minute now, as soon as they hit R, we should be ready. There we go. Game number 2, best of 3 series. Alrighty. Booped the wrong button. Savannah's taken out right out the gate. Makes sense. Couple of players on the side of VGM play a pretty nasty Sylvanas. Then, of course, Gazlo, same thing. Immediately banned away. No one wanted to deal with the Gaz Lord, which it's incredible that at this time... Gazlo is a first pick, first ban hero. Ana going to be taken out by Velocity, and we are flying through this draft. A little bit different than the last couple where everyone is very careful, very calculating, trying to figure out what they want to pick, what they want to take away. Chromie, of course, going to be the last ban for the side of VGM. And now it becomes a little bit different here. A little bit different than Tomb, but still very similar. Immediately, Junkrat going to be picked up for Noah here. Was banned out last game, is let through this game, and immediately snatched up by the side of Velocity. Members of VGM could again opt for, if they want to grab the Diva this time round, if they're going to grab for something, but they're going to go for the Deckard Johanna. Now, Deckard's in kind of a weird spot right now. A lot of people have been saying, you know, Deckard's really good, Deckard is not so good. All really depends on what your team comp is looking to do. This is a very safe team comp coming out here from the side of Velocity. So once again, Nitori is going to pick up the Diva, still thinking that is an incredibly strong hero. And Caesar Salad going for the white main very early on before seeing the damage. More ban phases coming around here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a gray main picked up here, getting rid of them, just because he does do a lot of damage and is a very strong hero right now. Otherwise, more wave clear could be in order, but it is going to be the Diablo main tank still needed by the side of Velocity. And damage is really the big thing here, which is kind of difficult for Velocity, because what do you ban right now? There are so many very strong damage dealers. Mephisto is one that comes to mind, who is sometimes picked on this map, is very strong, but it's actually going to be the Maya. They don't want to deal with the Tethers, the Warden's Cage. The follow-up from the Deckard and the Johanna into the Maya is really, really strong, and as such, they're just going to get rid of her. Moving forward, so hopefully we'll see damage here. Otherwise, looking, yep, Cassia Urel coming out this time round. Again, Cassia, another hero that was banned out, I believe, by VGM in game number 1. So they have the superior team fight on their side for the moment, I should say. ETC once again coming out for Velocity, and they're going to round everything out with a Hanzo. All right, let's try and update this super quick. Last but not least, Gul'dan. Tiger on that Gul'dan. A little bit slower play this time from the side of VGM. Wait to see if there are any last minute swap rounds, but it doesn't look like it. So we'll bring it back over here for a moment as we wait for the heroes to load in. And I think this time round it's hard to say. I like the wave clear of Velocity a little bit better than VGM. However, I think the Gul'dan was a really smart pick into the white main just because a lot of her damage is front loaded, and since Gul'dan can do so much damage over time, it is going to be really, really difficult. So, of course, that is my opinion. I would love to hear your own as we hop into game number 2 in our best of 5 series. Over here on the left-hand side, we do have Tiger JK on the Gul'dan. Heavy is going to be your Deckard. Maka on the Cassia. Vespertine on the Yrel. And TS Cattle is going to be your Johanna. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got Noah on the Junkrat. Caesar Salad is going to be your white main. Nintori on the Diva. Mysticles on the Hanzo. And Jachuggy on the ETC. So, everybody headed to the middle lane, as is standard. Just going to try and get that first wave of soak. Of course, the shortest lane it is where the minions will appear first. We do see Diva and Junkrat have already headed to their lanes. So, VGM or Velocity not looking to fight here, just looking to back out. Grab the soak and then back out. Mystically, of course, staying very, very safe. You can see they step on that concussion mine and then just back away when VGM do arrive. The rest of the members coming in trying to get the delay. Safe rotations by the members of the blue team here. In the meanwhile, Diva's the only one who's been top lane. Despite that, somehow, a little bit of a late... Okay, Yrel's double soaking, actually. Never mind, I'm a fool. Didn't catch that. So, a little bit of an XP lead. Not really. Both teams roughly the same so far. Camps are being taken over here. Caesar Salad and Noah, of course, working really hard with Mysticles. Same to be said for Tiger, JK, and Heavy, who were able to clean this up first, and as such, look to get started on this bottom plant, or on this bottom camp. Junkrat looking to poke in a little bit, see what's going on. ETC is here as well, seeing it's a 2v3. Decide it may not be worth it. A big old boomin' coming out, but Heavy is able to step up, back on, and claim it. 4v2 again, a little bit scary. So Velocity for now just going to seed it over and clear it out. In the middle lane, we are going to see a little bit of push come in. Vespertine is in. Noah having to use the natural agility. Out comes the Righteous Hammer. Does connect with Jachuggy, who is knocked back before being healed up by Caesar Salad. Looking a little bit rough in the health department. One heal for us. Now looking a little bit rough in the mana department. Coming up to give a little bit of a tickle to Caesar Salad here, who has started this, or give a little tickle to Nintori, who started this camp. Same said as Bruisers are being picked up. Soak, soak, soak. The most important part of the game. Shrine is active, and we can hover, take a look. It is going to be an Arcane Punisher coming out here first. So at Super 17, I pinged him on, asking him to get rid of that. We'll see if we can get that taken care of here in just a minute. Level 7 almost online for both teams. Cattle trying to grab a quick wave of soak before we start duking it out over this middle shrine. It is going to be the members of Velocity who get a head start on the objective first here. 12-0. Bruiser Camps duking it out in the top lane. Cattle taking a little bit of damage, has to back up here. Steps on some of these potions, though, is going to be fine. Has used that Iron Skin. Will be down for just a little bit of time. Nintori has that bomb prep and ready to go. Concussion Mine also still very good. Vespertine has to back out. They are a little bit low. 28-23. Quick recovery here by VGM. Out comes the Diva bomb. Knockback onto Cattle does go down. Hanzo finishes off with the help of the Diva, 39-40. We can see VGM just scatter here, not able to do much more on this shrine. Red looking to push hard in this bottom lane. Heavy steps up, has to use the medallion to stop the Punisher from jumping over. Not having the Johanna here to tank it cost them the 5-minute cooldown, making sure they're not followed up on by ETC here. In fact, we'll look. Did not go for the crowd surfer for good reason. It can be scary when you're fighting up against those walls here. Did opt for the prog rock going into the loudspeakers, going into the pinball wizard. Extra damage. And Tori giving a little bit of advice, saying Divine Steen is a bad talent, despite losing to it last game. So, just a couple of opinions from the heroes there. Camps being cleaned out once again. Rotations coming out from Diva. Cattle doing the same here. Just trying to step up. Of course, it's just all about soak. Junkrat opting for that blow 'em up, chattering teeth, and then the sticky wicket. So, of course, really just trying to lock down some of those other... trying to lock down some of those heroes. And Vespertine opting, yeah, you know, it's better than Nitrous, so... a little bit of just cheeky banter between the teams there as they move forward. Chuggy nearly getting caught out. The 4-man rotating onto them. They see a little bit of damage taken, but they're able to use, of course, the face melt and then the power slide to get away. It's a rough life for a tank. Did go for the Pizzball Wizard, so doesn't have the extra slide from the Echo Pedal to clear out the camp. Finally ends up doing it. Everybody really just looking around here. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Take a look at our white main talents here. We do have the Pretty, the Fail, the Indulgent, and then, of course, the Intercession. That is the Cleanse for the heroes at level 7. Level 10 hit for both teams. Just a smidgen ahead for the side of VGM here. Urel holding their ultimate ability. It should be that Ardent Defender. ETC going for the Mosh Pit, of course. Riptire, Micro Missiles. Interestingly, from Hanzo, we have that Dragon Strike coming out instead. Vespertine under a little bit of damage does end up snap picking that Ardent Defender. Horrify for Gul'dan, of course. Deckard going for that Stay Wild and Listen, and everything you would expect so far. Nothing spicy. Cattle opting for the Blessed Shield this time round, seeing if they can't find anybody from the red team to pop out. And it looks like they might. Out comes the Iron Skin, but they don't get it in time. Chuggy able to slide back, and seeing it is just the cow down here in the bottom lane. VGM looking to push a little bit. Get a couple of towers there, find a little bit of XP. Chuggy saying, get off my lawn, chasing him around. Duel coming out here in the top lane. Vespertine doing kind of the same thing, chasing away Nintori. Hanzo does finally finish off that simple geometry. EDC a little bit behind in this prog rock here. Johanna chased away again. Really having to use that Iron Skin on cooldown. Didn't even opt for the cooldown at level 1 as we typically see, opting for the block at level 1 when you cast your abilities. Great Horrify, great Spear there. Out comes the Valkyrie, connects onto Caesar Salad. Dragon Shock is dropped, and that is going to be first and foremost ETC going down. Big fight everywhere. Caesar Salad running for their life, but White Main is good. Didn't need to use their ultimate there, and Hanzo going to be the next to fall. Tank and support separated away, allowing the backline to just be chewed apart by VGM. Only White Main and Diva available here. Junkrat has to go down, deal with this large wave, 15-10. No ETC, no Hanzo, nothing the team can really do. Bruiser Camp was picked up in the meantime while this is all going on. So now Nintori has a couple of chores to do. Gonna find the stun onto Vespertine. But just the Frozen Punisher going over to the side of VGM here. In fact, they're actually waiting the 39. Gonna see if they can't get a little bit more here. Gul'dan going to start this camp with the help of friends. may have bought time for Velocity to get back in here, but they're not heading over to that shrine just yet. In fact, they grabbed their own camp and are now looking to duel on this bottom lane. 2 guys remain. Dragon Strike comes out, and this is going to be VGM picking up, or seeding the camp, picking up the Punisher, and just gonna have to deal with the clear here. We're able to already clear out the middle guys. Stun coming out on an Inventory, but nothing really to worry about. They have the extra health bar in the mech there. So, nice knockback with the face melt. 5-man push for the TMs, 13 to 13 here. Frozen Punisher, of course, does shut off the towers for about 3 seconds. So this should be the fort going down here. Punisher will be chased off by the towers. Oh no, Noah getting stunned out. Noah not getting rooted. Cattle being chased down by D.Va. Able to, I mean, not do a whole lot of damage. It is a Johanna. They do have that level 4, of course, the rush down, so that is the 3% max health when you get hit by the boosters. Vespertine may be caught out, not going to be so. Blessed Shield into the back line. Vespertine looking to grab on top. Junkrat able to boop themselves away. Stay a while and listen is good, but Dragon Arrow also coming out to Chuggy in the back. Horrify is good. There's no way for ETC to escape. Save the stage dive, which is beautifully done to avoid that Valkyrie. Riptire comes out, a lot of damage onto Maka, who has to run for their life, and what looks so solid for VGM early. They end up running with their tails tucked between their legs. They have to go hide back behind the fort and cede most of the map over to the side of Velocity here. Lots of ultimates used. In fact, the only thing not used was Ardent Defender. Micro Missiles, of course, does have a short cooldown and a couple of charges, so was used there in that last fight. Is back up. Just D.Va things. Low cooldown ultimate abilities. See. Velocity stealing the Korean strats, banking on the 20 Hanzo ult seems risky. Last time Alexander did it, they went 0-20. Ooh, oof. That is rough. They'll have to be careful moving forward. 12 seconds before that Horrify is back, so Gul'dan can maybe look to pick somebody out with that ultimate heroic there. Meanwhile, D.Va living the exciting solo lane life, grabs her own camp. Aggressive camp is being picked up here from the side of VGM. They do have their camp taken away. Really not a whole lot Velocity can do. Natural agility coming out. And they're out just everywhere all at once. Always finding vision for the team, trying to figure out where they're going to be, where's the most aggressive place to strike, and allowing the team to step up, do some really spicy things, out having to worry about getting caught out. So well played by VGM. They're going to look to come in here and step in on this camp. One guy down, one guy nearly down. Camp has been leashed, and it looks like VGM is going to see this bottom camp once again. They don't really seem to care about this at all. They're more than willing to just let it go. Bottom lane is going to be where the Punisher is. Cattle has been rooted, immediately has to pop the Iron Skin, making sure they're able to get away. It's a 25-second cooldown. They're not going to have. Just going to give over that bottom fort. Give over positioning on this objective. A lot is just being given over. Cattle finally being able to step up here. The Chattering Teeth trying to find everyone. Is picked up by one of those skeletal defenders finally. Urel knocking everybody back, allowing the team to try and get a couple of stacks here, but 17 to 13. Mintori has to drop that D.Va mech bomb. Out comes the Horrified Gul'dan, gonna be the first to go down. Cattle very low in the back. Noah chasing him down, looking for the last auto with 154 health, though they do escape. Heavy may have overstayed their welcome, though. They sacrifice their life for the tank. Vespertine is going to get stuck in the mosh. Natural agility prevents Hanzo from going down there. Pulled out. Great job despite the nice positioning from Maka. Vespertine the next to fall, and 2 for nothing in favor of Velocity looking very dominant in this game number 2. In fact, we'll take a look at the numbers here. Already 139k siege damage for D.Va, just 14 minutes into the game. Urel with 114 as well, but 0 deaths. I mean, Tori hasn't even dropped the mech yet. Keep, early keep goes down. Mortar Punisher still very healthy. Decker down for another 2 seconds. Dragon Strike comes out. Cattle taking quite the bugger in there as the core is falling really quickly. Still another 36% on here, 30% on the core. And with that help, it is going to be a game number 2 going over to Velocity. Well done. They had them in the first half, not going to lie. But the grand turn of events and a couple of really smartly played team fights is going to be Velocity, who ends up taking game number 2 in this low kill game series. Korean strats without the Korean ping could work. I mean, you're not wrong, Aaron. Yes, 2 to 4 here in terms of kills. Just a couple of little pickings here and there. Of course, the Chucky and Hanzo, Noah only going down over that one Punisher that the team did lose there. Absolute blasting indifference, though. Noah doing almost double the damage of Tiger JK in that last fight. In fact, D.Va doing more damage. Mystically steering almost as much before anybody even comes close. Heavy only being able to get the 6K, and I mean, I know they're a Deckard, but come on. Vespertine with the 11K. A little bit rough for VGM that game. They got kind of dunked on. Well done to the players, though. We'll go ahead and take a look at these talents. Was a relatively short game. Level 16 picked up by both the heroes there. Hello, friend. Welcome to the stream. As we take a look, Harsh Discipline, of course, as we saw for White Mane there, did get the root on a cattle, which made them panic, had to burn that Iron Skin, so they didn't have it for that last Punisher defense, and as such, they ended up taking a lot of damage, and Heavy so valiantly sacrificing themselves for them did end up snowballing towards the end there. Heraldic Staffs to help with a little bit of that jump on to Heavy, but of course, again, really hard with most of the team is ranged. Mystically's on the Junkrat. I always say Junkrat exists not to win, not to lose, but to make sure that everybody has as miserable a time as possible. Your team, your friends, your enemy team, yourself. Like if people are having fun, you're not playing the Junkrat, right? Go ahead and hop over to the updates. I'm just pointing it out. Update this. Game number 2 going over to the red team. There we go. So wait to see where we are for game number 3. We will be going to 4 games this series at minimum. Is this the reverse sweep for Velocity? So wait to hear back from the teams, see where we're going for game number 2. Or number 3, sorry. Alrighty, and just a reminder, folks, as we're getting in, I see we have a couple of new faces. So if you're maybe new to NGS, Storm Division, all that good stuff. Of course, first, welcome. This is our kind of Masters tournament, our baby HGC. So if you guys are having a good time and you want to support the players, you can !Matcherino and support them there. The prize pool is up to $1,300 currently. And of course, everything that you donate to the Matcherino goes 100% to the players. If you would like to help NGS, !Patreon, where you can help support the fine folks who do put this on. Remember, everything that we do here is completely volunteer based. So all the mods, all the admins, everybody who puts together, everybody who beats the players black and blue so they show up on time for the games, of course, is done just out of the kindness and goodness of the hearts of the NGS folks. So Patreon, you can help them for just $1. Everything goes to NGS. And if you are enjoying the casting, any donation that you make to the Twitch page today does go to your caster. So all those bits, all those subs will head over to myself. And of course, any of the other casters, any other evening. So Tetcher, Murda, Crushinator, those are the other casters for the evening. You can help support them just by dropping. But if you do drop it tonight, it does go to your old pal Jinxie. And, you know, if you want to learn a little bit about me and what I'm doing when I'm not on the NGS channel, then you can !caster in chat to check out what is going on. It's a 0v0 on screen. Let me fix that. There we go. Alrighty, so we do have game number 3 here for our teams. We'll go ahead and get that all updated. We are going to Cursed Hollow, and if I had to guess, it was picked up by Velocity, and I am correct. So let's go ahead, update that. I'm gonna let them know that I am ready, and we can hop into our 3rd game of the evening. Just waiting for our teams. There we are, Cursed Hollow picked up by Velocity here. So, I have seen a little bit of the Velocity team play Cursed Hollow. And I'm curious to see if it is going to be their... If it is going to be their run-it-down meatball strat that they usually try and pull out here. So... Are they going to go for the triple front line with the Arthas in the DPS section? Immediately as we go through, we are going to see that Lost Vikings Gazlowe banned out right out the gate. And of course, Velocity really not wanting to deal with that Gazlowe. Junkrat. Yeah, that makes sense. Mystically is making everybody's lives hell in that last game. We didn't get any over-the-wall boop-em kills, but I suspect that these players are a little bit past that in these games. But still, really, really rough. Sylvanas, of course, going to be banned away. But this does mean that the Chromie has been left available. D.Va has been left available. Lots of really solid picks still available for the teams. So, what did VGM pick here? Are they going to opt for that D.Va that Intori has been so in love with? They're going to get the Chromie. They're very spoiled for choice right now. Oh, the Abathur! That's a pretty strong hero as well. So, gonna go ahead, grab the Abathur, which has me curious. We're gonna see Abasam come out here in game number 3 for Cursed Hollow. That's kind of the... I would understand it as payback for the Junkrat game number 2, since it's been kind of the code between the Masters players that you don't really play Abasam. He was nerfed recently, but it's still a really strong, really annoying combo. So we'll have to see as Dahaka and Raynor are picked up this time. So if D.Va is grabbed, it will most likely be on the side of VGM, unless Velocity has a couple of spicy picks up their sleeves. opting for that Diablo and the Greymane right now. So far, both teams just looking to play it standard. Nothing too crazy coming out. In fact, we're so vanilla right now. We got the Captain Pew Pew Rainer for Noah there. Of course, you know, one of the best heroes in the game right now, very safe. Zeratul is banned away. The Abba Hunter who can make your life so very miserable. And then he's just good on the map. He's good to be able to rotate without seeing him on the minion waves and on the walls and whatnot. So makes sense to get rid of the Zeratul. Garrosh is going to be banned out for VGM. ETC once again for Chuggy. If it's not broke, don't fix it. He's been playing a pretty solid ETC so far. And Caesar Salad coming out with the Charism. So far, 3 games, 3 supports. You love to see it. Espartine is going to get that mouth veil. And this time we're going to see the Heavy grabbing the Ana. Wow, this is a really solid big front line. So if Mysticles does maybe grab this 4-man Arthas that we have been talking about, we could look to see, you know, maybe this is a nano boost Malthael with the Consume Souls as opposed, not the Consume Souls, the, God, what is the other ultimate? We never see it. It's not going to be. It's going to be Falstad instead from Mysticles. There's Last Rites, and I'm totally blanking on the other one. Let's wait a second, because I know somebody will just shame me in chat and be like, it's this. Alrighty. Gonna bring it back over here for one moment as we load in, of course. I try to update everything so that all of our stuff is correct. There we go. BTC is the only, I mean, yeah, you are correct. Alrighty, going here, logging in for game number 3 on the left-hand side. We have members of Tiger JK on the Abathur, Heavy on the Ana, Maka is going to be your Greymane, Vespertine on that Malthael, and Cattle on the Diablo. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got Noah on the Rainer, Caesar Salad on the Charism, Nitori is going to be at that Dahaka, Mysticles on the Falstad, and of course Chuggy on that ETC once again. Heading in for the level 1. This level 1 is always a little bit weird because you just try to catch people on the rotation, seeing who is going to rotate. We did see Dahaka and Nitori head up first, not even coming to fight in this middle lane as is fairly standard. Falstad doing the same thing, and with the Globalin from Velocity, we will see most likely a lot of gank attempts, a lot of rotating around the map, seeing what can be given, what can be taken away, all that good stuff. ETC just hanging out in the bush right now. Malthael finally making their way up to the top, dueling it out with the Haka. Diablo in the bottom with the Abba hat versus Noah. Going to be a little bit of a rough time. You know, those range into melee matchups can always be difficult, but when you have the hat, it's always the 2v1. And you can see Noah, the way that he's just rotating around, he's so scared, does not want to get caught in the wall, not going to be stunned up there, just going to knock back, get those hammers out, opting for that seasoned marksman at level 1, trying to just find the autos on the minions and whatnot. Has to use the barrel roll to get away. Meanwhile, everyone's having a pretty fun match. The early Cursed Hollow is Again, kind of one of those maps that you just have to really, really slow play moving through. Diablo rotating out. We're going to try and find somebody here. We do have that auto Diablo coming in early. Bruiser Camp picked up a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds before Anna and Greyman are able to finish this one as well. But that will, of course, mean that it is going to push up a little bit further. So, members of Velocity are going to be able to try and push with this. Looks like they're not going to opt to instead. Just going to let the side of VGM clear it out and then head back. Cattle really looking for the flanks here, just in some really unusual positions, trying to find these wall bangs, unable to do so. Tiger, though, saying, hey, man, you know, lanes are going to soak themselves. Diablo comes back down for a minute, checks, hey, man, you good? Comes up, looks out, slide comes out from Chuggy, stun from Cattle. Everybody backs up. Vespertine has even come down as well here, leaving Nitori up to soak this wave. So big push coming out early on. Chuggy looking for the slide here, not going to find it. Tries to find the tongue in the bush, doesn't find it again. Slide comes out, Sleep Dart does not connect. Cattle taking a little bit of a beating. Of course, Abathur able to heal them up there with the hat. Rest of the members of VLC, or Velocity, if you want to call them by their tag, just gonna try and grab this. Slide comes out, are going to see everyone really just poking around. Meanwhile, Vespertine and Noah are just going to fight it out down here. Dahaka doing the same because they know the longer that Velocity can stall this, the more XP they'll get. So they don't mind even getting this. Like, if they lose it, that's fine. Abathur in kind of the same boat, seeing as this is a 3v4 currently, or 3v3. Malthael is not currently here either. Zeus Salad gonna try and grab the tribute. Cattle looking to go in, trying to find the angle. Not able to do so quite yet. Slowly but surely we can see the XP lead gaining for Velocity. Nice Sleep comes out with the aim down sights available. Are going to see a little bit of damage come out onto Maka. And Tori finally decided to walk his dinosaur butt up. Finds the drag onto Cattle. Going to use that knockback. Out comes the grenade from Heavy. Once again, the members of Red Team just going to back off. Let Karazim heal them up. They don't exactly heal quickly, considering Karazim has one heal on a 9-second cooldown. So wet noodle fight between Chuggy and Cattle. The rest of the team going to soak. Mystically is finally making their way up. Nitori headed back down to that mid lane. Vespertine just saying, you know, what's going on up here? All right, see you later. Coming back up, using those bushes to gain some extra speed. Great Unstoppable does not find the drag, but the slide comes out onto Maka. Has to use that disengage to get out of there. Looking for those autos still, though. Great Sleep once again by Heavy. Vespertine has finally arrived. Falside is still in the middle of the lane, not coming up quite yet, and actually flying down to the bottom, so will not be available if this fight persists any longer. A full minute on that fly. Both teams roughly the same in terms of level 10, and they're keeping Soak really nicely done. Really, really solid plays by both teams, able to keep in tandem with each other. Another great stun there by Cattle. Maka and Mystically just kind of shooting at each other. I was gonna make a joke about America, but I feel like that's already been done enough. Another Fire Stomp. Let's take a look at Cattle's build here. They went for the Feast on Fear. Level 10 already for Ana. Gonna see another little fight break out here. APOC does come down. The silence onto her as well as Contagion has been ripped. ETC gonna be the first to fall, though. There we are with the Malthael. Tormented Souls found it in the end with ETC going down. The tribute does actually end up going over to Velocity. Tiger JK drops the clone on the other side of the wall, looking for Mystically. Does not find them, but 10 to 10. Really good try by the heroes there, but in the end, not going to be enough. Let's take a look at these. at these heroic abilities. Of course, Nano available. Tormented Souls, as we suspected, go for the throat. APOC, Alt Evo, most of those used up. The next tribute available. A lot of these big cooldowns still on cooldown, waiting to come back up here. So we're going to have a little bit of a lull, maybe 30 seconds, so most of them will be available for the next team fight. Boss being ripped by both teams here. Going to finish it roughly the same amount of time. Abathur having to back up. Nintori, of course, getting a little bit extra soak there before they look to head in over here on the blue side. We did opt for the 7-sided strike, not the palmed save. Anybody who does end up potentially going down in these fights. Sleep Dart has been used already for the moment. Knockback from the ETC face melt. We'll see the Giants and Noah stepping down here to defend this boss. And this really favors Velocity here, as they are going to be able to defend the boss and then come in for the tribute. But it looks like they're actually just going to give it up in favor of defending the boss. The Giants have gone down, and they do end up losing the fort here. Meanwhile, Fort also has been traded out with Nintori pushing up in the top lane. Boss still relatively healthy, going to start looking to push on the keep. Malthael finally sent back to deal with it. Meanwhile, it's just back to camp. So everybody back to positions. Soaking, camping, you all know the drill. Take a look at the talents here as level 13 is about to be hit from the side of Velocity. Really solid positioning for the side of VGM. They're able to get a good flank on this tribute, grab their bruiser camp, maybe look to push out here, fight a little bit, as both teams are on the same talent and they're staying so incredibly even. It's been a really nice play for both the teams here. Cattle on the wrong side of the lane, does push back in. The whole US Army is here. Out comes the 7-sided strike. Meanwhile, though, down in the bottom, Falset was ganked. Nintori fears worse as the whole team is here. Here comes ETC, gets a beautiful 2-man stun. Moshpit comes out, but there is that APOC. Tahaka going to be the next to go down, and this tribute will most likely be seeded by Velocity. Great play by VGM. Remain just going to clear out the rest of these bruisers, and now with the Haka down for another 7 seconds, we are just going to see continuous push here from VGM, looking to just make everyone's lives difficult. Seeing that they know what Velocity want to do, and they're like, you know what, let's just make this as hard as possible on them. Velocity trying to catch up. They are a whole level down now. This will mean curse for VGM if they don't cap it. So everybody showing up to this fight. All hands on deck. But Velocity or VGM more than willing to be a little bit late. Trying to find where everybody else is on the map. They know that getting the 16 will be nice for them. Cleanse comes out from Vespertine. There comes the Nano. Great gust pushes away that Tormented Souls. Is going to waste both those ultimates there. Out comes the 7-sided strike. Cattle taking quite a bit of abuse there. Chucky also the same, but Heavy was able to grab the tribute while it was all happening. And as a result, Curse does go over to the side of VGM, but Tiger JK isn't done yet. They have the clone. Diablo is silenced. Cattle drops the APOC, but it's not going to be enough. Isolation coming out, not allowing him to see where he's going, does end up giving over to the friend. ETC will go down to the go for the throw. Does have that second charge repair, looking for Caesar Salad. That's one slippery monk. He gets that Radiant dash off, and nothing can be done. Vespertine surrounded by 2. Here comes the rest of the team, though. Nintori does go down, is able to drop that healing. Noah does not have the same ability, will fall. Of course, Greymane does end up finding Nintori as well. And that's a really, really big team fight to lose, especially during Curse here right now. Going to start attacking the walls of this keep here. One tower down, Diablo stepping up. There's only 3 seconds left, so careful. Defenses have been pinged. Chucky shows up. Sleep comes out. Nano Boost is popped. Oh no, Kerosene taking so much damage. 150 health, able to sneak away. Tormented Souls goes down, and the members are able to back out. Very close on finding the support of Velocity. Not going to be able to do it quite yet as such. Just grabbing the vision. Managed to cap all 3 forts here. It's looking pretty solid for the side of the VGM. We're gonna see. Out comes the drag. Trying to scout around the boss. Are VGM doing the boss? Does not look like it. Everyone just waiting so carefully. VGM, they're baiting it just as well. You see that Velocity are starting it now, looking to wrap around and go in. They've scouted pretty well. Somebody has to have seen Diablo, right? There's the Rainer's Raider. It is shooting at Cattle, so we know they have been found. But the Rainer, so good in the back here. Great Gust comes out. Mosh Pit to secure. Out comes the APOC. It is going to be ETC giving his life, but the boss does go over to Velocity. Really solid play. And Tori left in the back alone is going to end up falling. Both the frontliners going down. And yeah, in exchange, there was the boss. However, with the Greymane and the Diablo, this is a pretty good... Let's just rip the other boss too, and this is going to be pushing on the keep, so... Worth, maybe? Question mark? I guess it prevents the double boss play, so... In the end here, we are going to actually see Cattle just zoning away, making sure nobody is able to come in and get vision on the team. Meanwhile, the 3-man here is going to grab this boss. As was mentioned, we'll be pushing on keep. Objective is available in but a moment. And now Greymane's going to get started on this Bruiser camp before the team says, you know what, maybe not. Maybe we push with this boss instead. Try and see if we can't get some keep damage here. One playing so very patient. Trying to fight the boss a little bit in the lane before the keep comes up. Talents online, so we can take a look at them. A little bit of a one of everything build coming out here from Cattle, opting for the devastating charge and the domination. Boss will be cleared relatively easily here, though, only taking half the keep's life before the teams look to move forward. Meanwhile, camp was taken while we're waiting for the frontline to respawn on the side of Velocity. Not going to get too much more here on the Mule. Healing up does make it difficult to have sustain any permanent damage on this side of Velocity. Bruiser's picked up. Bruiser's momentarily picked up as the whole team is nearly doing it. Diablo just trying to keep an eye on the backline here. Level 20 for the side of VGM. Nano Infusion and then the Unleash. Greymane going for those additional resets. And then, of course, the 25% bonus damage. And one thing to note, just as I sudden notice, ETC not going for the Encore here. They went for the mic check, which is the cooldown reduction on that face melt. So hoping to get some more of those face melts off as opposed to getting more of the mosh pits off. Want to see if Bruisers do come in here. Are looking to push these towers. Gonna find them without too much difficulty. More knockback coming out here. Tribute available. Only the members of VGM racing down here to it. The other members of Velocity know they have more things to be doing, more pressing matters. Are a lot of minions looking at their coordinating. Tori brave to step out so far with no vision of the enemy team. And there's a lot of map that is just currently dark for the red team. Fall said you can see Hearthing getting the heck out of dodge as Diablo is ready for him. Oh, the barrel roll comes, the gust comes. He doesn't want anything to do with the Diablo. Actually ends up burning the fly there. Humongous use of resources by Noah. It's a 60-second cooldown. And then another 70-second, I believe, is the fly from the Falstad, so they won't have that to just go around and gank anybody. Won't have that to soak any couple of lanes just from Cattle walking at him with an Abathur hat. Really well played there. And of course, cooldown already halfway back to being fully charged up. Level 20 online for the members of Velocity as well. But going down without this ultimate is going to be a big deal. Nano comes out onto the Malthael. They do find that Tormented Soul Slides comes out. Doesn't get much more value than that. Take a look. Big stun coming out. Tiger JK opting to control on the Diablo instead. Another big stun. There's the APOC. Out comes a 7-sided strike. Mosh Pit is good. Lands a 3-man Mosh Pit. But over in the back, Malthael does go down. Greymane does go down. Ana was capping, so putting the team in kind of a 4v5 there just to grab the tribute. Of course, Malthael has returned. They do have that extra long death timer on the level 20, but allowing the team to continue fighting nonetheless and looking so very solid in this game. Boss will be up soon. Looks like VGM are wanting to bait it more than anything. Instead, Chuggy does find Cattle here. We're going to see Natori does grab the drag. Everybody coming out. Out is the Unstoppable. Heavy, really well done. Having those extra charges ready. Able to keep Diablo nice and strong. But using such big cooldowns does mean that we are going to see this boss headed over to the side of Velocity here. Also flying in, just going to be able to offer support, and if anybody contests, has the fly ready. Take a look. Did we go for the big gust? We did. We went for that wind tunnel, so we'll make it more difficult for the side of VGM to engage on us.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Blue team, oh no. Top keep has been pushed down here. Those minions are really strong. Hearth canceling as the teams are looking to see what damage is being really done over on the side of their fort. They're going to try and look to this push with this boss, see what they can get done. Tiger drops the clone, taking a little bit of damage, does end up losing it. Everybody else from the team staying very, very far back. They are in the 4-body fight now. Out comes the APOC. Out comes the 7-sided strike, but the Gust is there as well. Out comes the Apocalypse, and then the Nano, rough. As Greymane goes down, Malthael goes down, does not have that buyback quite yet, and that's a 74-second death timer. Another death coming out here, and Velocity looking very strong at the end of this game. I mean, just like the VGM pickup, just lose until you win, right? 63% on the core. It's just Cattle and Heavy alive here, not able to do much. Abathur has to kind of hang out because those slaps don't contribute much. So it's going to be game number 3 going over to Team Velocity. Rough game. Another low kill count. Team's very precise on when they opt to fight here. As we take a look, 8-5. Solid tour boss. I agree. Really, really nicely played by the side of Velocity. They are now up 2-0 in this best of 5 series. So one more will secure the deal. Take a look at the talents, because apparently y'all are just gonna bully me if we talk about numbers just for the fun of it, because you know, why not? But there are the talents if everybody likes to look at it. We did have that Epiphany come out for Caesar Style that is restoring the mana and then getting those 2 charges of Radiant Dash back. The tour bus, as we saw, getting a couple of really solid kills there in the end. It was able to find the damage dealers of VGM twice now. If you guys missed game number 1, it's a little bit of payback for that, because it was a lot of control for Velocity in game number 1 until VGM just kind of came and took it back. So that's the way that it does. I haven't updated the score yet, but thanks. So we can can go ahead and do that right now as we update everything. There we are, and game number 3 was won by the red team. Picked by red, won by red. There we are. All right, so really solid play by the teams there. As our Nightbot does ping. Just a reminder, everybody, there are a couple of things that we have going on that you can support. Of course, !Storm to support those players. Match Arena will support those players. You can donate to their prize pool. We are at $1,300 right now for those heroes. Whoever wins quite a chunk of change. This is the biggest tournament I've seen offered in a while now for the player. So a nice little incentive for them. And of course, if you like NGS, please feel free to offer them some support as well. The best way to do that is Patreon, where you can become a Patreon of them. You get a couple of cool little rewards as well, and you can support them for just as low as $1 a month. And then, of course, last but not least, if you are enjoying your caster, any subs and bits, any kind of donation on the channel that happens here does go to yours truly. So, we'll wait for that. I will just let you that. Let's just sit on that. See if you want to support your heroes of the Storm community. If not, it's nice just to have you guys hanging out. Thanks so much for stopping by. Now, where do we go for potentially our final match of the evening? Is this going to go to game number 5, or Velocity going to bring in a clean sweep? We had a couple of upsets this week. You'll have to check out the VODs if you want to see those. I don't want to spoil it on the main cast, but a couple of really solid games. You know, there was a certain Monday game that had a spicy outcome that was casted by Tetcher. So if you're interested in that, you can go take a look at that after this series, of course. I know you guys are curious to find the grueling conclusion between VGM and Velocity. So we wait for them to find us that last game. Last, second to last, however we want to do it. Depending on if VGM is going to bring it back or not. Bring it back over here as we wait. I know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it back to my face, because the second that I do that, every single time, they invite me to a lobby and then I have to change it again. So, yeah. We'll hang out over here for a moment. Hope you guys are having a lovely time. We really, really appreciate you stopping by. Again, this is supposed to be our round 5 game. We're currently in round 6, which is the second to last round. Actually, I think I'm trying to figure it all out. I believe this week is round 6 week, but all the games have been played. So next week is the last week of the regular season, then we'll go on to playoffs. So, of course, there we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Bring it back over to the map screen for just a moment. Oh, I update this. This is game number 4. We're going to Hanamura Temple. All right, picked by team 2, so let's go ahead and update that. All right, I'm gonna let them know that I am ready. Ready. Oh, man. You know, if they wanted a nap, they could have just said something, wanted to take a 20-minute break. They didn't have to bring us to Hanamura Temple. Alrighty, just waiting on the R's from the teams, and then we should be all good to go. Unless I'm gonna ask them if they want a 5-minute break. So I could definitely go for a 5-minute break. So we'll see if they want to do bio, and then if they're ready to just continue, we'll go through with that. If they don't want to continue, then if they do want to continue, then we'll just hop right in. So we have one ready from VGM. What do the members of Velocity say? Any minute. All right, I mean, Tori says we're going, so we are just going to continue going. Wonder if the map was hated as much as... I mean, just from a caster perspective, it's one of the worst maps to cast. It's just do camps for 20 minutes and then maybe you'll win. The objective doesn't even do anything. But nevertheless, here we are. Hanamura Temple going in. It is a little bit better. It doesn't feel as snowbally, I will say, as some of the other 2-lane maps where it feels like, you know, you're never really able to come back in. I think it's because it does have so many camps that spawn fairly quickly that you always have that comeback XP available, especially on account of those vision camps always just being ready to take whenever you want them. As we're moving through, what are the bans going to be? Chromie completely ignored last game. Are they going to do the same this time round? It's going to actually be VGM who bans out the Abathur, despite picking it up last game. Sylvanas once again taken away. Velocity does not want them to have that, and for good reason. She's pretty strong. I just will continue to keep harping on it. Really, really strong hero currently. All right. Chromie, there she is. Going to be banned out this time around. Makes a lot of sense to get her out of here. And then, of course, once again, we will not see Gazlo this series so far, as every single game he has been banned out. So, first pick going over here. What are we going to consider? Do we pick up the tank first and foremost, like VGM has done most of these games? Are we going to see the Johanna? See a different build from the Johanna, too, because that's an interesting point, as Cattle's played 2 different Johanna builds so far, but it looks like we're actually going to see Ana picked up first for Heavy this time round, implying they have a spicy mage up their sleeve. So Li Ming could be strong here. Orphea, another really great pick. Then, of course, Kil'Thas and Jaina. Lots of different heroes at their disposal. ETC once again, and there it is. Mystically's snap picking that Li Ming away. Blue team gonna grab the Rainer and the Garrosh. Garrosh kind of the same into an ETC until level 10, really, where there's always been that thing about the Diablo Garrosh matchup can be a little bit rough just because you go to charge in and then Garrosh just throws you into Africa and you're like, well, shoot, you know? But with the ETC, that happens until level 10, until he throws, you know, into his whole team, and then you just get a mosh pit. You kill everyone. So, Little bit of tact has to be played with the Garrosh here. Maka once again going for that Rainer. We're going to see the Yrel banned out from Velocity. Now this time from VGM. Do they go for a support? Do they go for another off lane? D.Va's still up, and okay, well, she was up for a moment, but they are going to get rid of her as well. Tracer Malfurion coming in for Caesar Salad and Noah. Really annoying combo, those two, so makes sense to see them picked up here. Blaze will be the hero of choice for Vesper team. That's a beefy front wall. That's rough for Tracer to try and slip past. And then Thrall as well. Tiger JK picking up that Thrall, looking so strong. That's a lot of self-sustain for the Tracer to rip through. It's really going to be Maka and Heavy that are the key targets here that they're going to look to try and grab until they get the percentage at level 10. And then Nintori going for the Vikings. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of a swap here. It is going to be Nintori and they bring it back here. Caesar Salad is going to play the Lost Vikings, and Malfurion is going to be played by Nintori. So we have a little bit of a role swap. Interesting. So, I don't think my gold brain can comprehend what the teams are going for here, but I'm very excited for it as we hop in once again. Game number 4 in our best of 5 series. Over here on the left-hand side, we do have Tiger JK is going to be that Thrall. Heavy on the Ana. Maka is going to be your Rainer. Vespertine is not on the Malthael. They're on the Blaze. And then, of course, Cattle is going to be your Garage. And over here on the right-hand side, we do have Noah on the Tracer. Caesar Salad will be your Lost Vikings. Nintori on the Malfurion. Mysticles is your Li Ming. And once again, Chichuggy on the ETC. Crestinator, thank you very much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting NGS, and thank you for supporting your Storm Division casters. We'll hop in here looking at everything. Of course, Garage going for that Warbreaker level 1. Rejuvenation for Malfurion. Giving him his own little mini regrowth, allowing him to just kind of hang out and not have to worry about casting on himself, saving him the mana, all that good stuff. Vespertine chasing down these Vikings. We do have 2 of them in the top lane, 1 down here in the bottom lane, and I am really excited for this. It looks like Tiger did go for a little bit of a ride there. Does get a little bit low. We're going to see Sentinel Camp picked up by the side of the blue team, and the red looking to invade. Velocity not going to make this easy at all. Maka being harassed by Tracer. Finally, Tiger comes up. Great sleep, great stun, great root. Nice CC chain, not allowing the red team to step up here. Out comes the root from Malfurion, but Vespertine did come down, of course, making sure that the my team always calls him Walking Guy, but there have been several names for the camp. Genji, Sentinel, Samurai, whatever you want to call him, was picked up here. We are going to see Vision Camp taken by the red team immediately. 3 stuns on that Groundbreaker. No Samurai pickup yet for the red team. Are a little bit late to that rotation. Vespertine has gone back up into lane, and now big push coming out from the side of blue here. They're not messing around anymore. Of course, that Samurai will be taken down. Big stun on Cattle there. Gets the Root, does get the toss onto Chichuggy, though, who is able to not. It's close. Another stun Another great follow-up. Like you're saying, I'm going back to base. This hurts. Nearly taken down there, and as such, this camp is going to be picked up by the side of VGM here, who are looking to also grab this turret, knowing that ETC won't be back for a little bit of time. Stopful has been picked up for Garage with the Indomitable. He uses it there to get out of those entangling roots. Looking to try and step up, but the hardest thing for Garage is just running at the enemy. Always trying to look for the flank, trying to find some other way to come in, because if you just run at him, then you kind of shoot him down. He's a big, slow lad. Moving forward, though, we are going to see another attempt to recapture this Vision camp. Cattle stepping up, is knocked back. Broccoli coming out to get some slaps in. Just, if nothing else, providing a vision for the side of Velocity here. Objective has spawned. Vespertine being chased down by Noah. Drops the flames to heal. Slide comes out, does not connect. Now Vespertine will head back to base. Meanwhile, a little bit of a stalemate coming on here over that objective. Camp being taken by the blue team, top camp being taken by the red team. This is the first time the top camp has been taken, and still Samurai has not been grabbed by the red team. Really haven't found the opportunity to do so. Tiger JK really harassing this Olaf here. May have found themselves out of position. Slide comes out. There is the pulse bomb, and Tiger JK is going to be first blood going over to the side of Velocity. Overstayed their welcome a little bit, ended up paying the price, got damage onto that wall, did end up taking the fort, of course, or excuse me, the tower, not the fort, but ends up paying with his life. Will respawn up now. Sentinel once again picked up for the side of VGM. Broccoli taking a couple of those shots so the members can get a little bit of damage in. Nice sleep by Heavy. Some assistance pings comes out. Great recall by Noah there. Was nearly caught out by Cattle, but last moment pops the recall, able to get out safe and sound. Beautiful stun coming out from Cattle. They're looking to push in a little bit more aggressively. Almost done with that level 1. Salad going to lose their big Viking there. More damage coming through. Sentinel still pushing in quite hard. And this is really, really rough for Velocity here. They're trying to push out, but dealing with that Sentinel, he's basically a 6th hero here. Vision has been picked up. Slide comes out onto Tiger, and I remember this. That is another dead Thrall going over to the side of Velocity. Excuse me. No Artanis today, Crushinator, but we have hope. Glad you got to see your favorite map picked here. We are going to see a little bit more pushing coming out from the side of Velocity. Not to the same degree, though, as the tower is still Chang's nice and healthy. Heavy keeping everybody roughly the same. No one taking too much damage. Noah is just going to back up here to Chuggy, zoning out everyone. It looks like turret will be picked up once again while everybody waits for this objective. Jeez. Poor Samurai. Must be so lonely over here, so bored. Nobody's come to see him yet. Gross finishing that level 1 quest. Finally, we'll have that extra CDR and the bonus damage you get from completing the 5 stacks. Turret was used from the side of the red team. Taunt does come out, level 10 for both teams. Out comes the Earthquake. Cattle does eat that pulse bomb to the face. Tiger very low in the back, trying to stay alive. Does end up falling for a 3rd time in roughly the last 2.5 minutes. Mock-up very low. Out comes the Wave of Force, trying to finish off the job, unable to do so. Turret battle, duking it out. Once again, this goes over in favor of Velocity, who are looking to pick up this now. Maybe the enemy samurai. They don't have the thrall here now, so it is kind of a rough spot to fight for V5. Throw onto ETC, has to watch out for the fort, taking quite a bit of damage here, being on the wrong side of the tracks. Able to get out. The Heavy did find that Pulse Bomb has to back out. Tiger JK is here though. Out comes the Mosh, but immediately interrupted by that Rainer penetrating round. Gonna find the kill onto the Viking, and now the rest of the members of the red team do have to back it up. Play again does come out for the Vikings, and blue team overall really well done. We're able to grab this samurai camp here, find a Viking pick, had to spawn the play again. Now just looking to push the objective. Mosh Pit was used in the last fight as well. Tranquility will be back up momentarily. Lots going down. Just continues to push. Vikings continuing to be annoying here. Rainer getting a start on this turret. We're able to do it fairly easily with the Raider. Vikings gonna try and stall this out. Remember, if it is contested at all, you can't move the payload. So the value of the Vikings does seem to be coming out in force here now. 3 members versus 2 Vikings can make for a rough time. Meanwhile, though, down in the bottom lane, out comes the Tranquility. Cattle taking a full bit of damage, that extra percentage damage from Tracer, really biting him in the butt because the armor does nothing. However, ETC is going to be the next to go down. Out comes the Earthquake. Tiger chasing down Nintori, who's running for his life. Nano Blues the single B-stab before Nintori goes down. Dead. Chase is on for the red team. We're having a little bit of a rough time this game round. Going to lose their turret and actually maybe even lose their fort here as VGM pushes in further on. To see a little bit more fight over the turret, but does end up going, of course, to VGM in the end. Red was able to pick up one of these vision camps. We'll have an idea of what the blue team will be able to doing, or what they will be able to do. Gonna see a little bit more of this race here in the middle of the map, looking to get this second objective turned, and Sister Salad able to move that Eric the Swift fairly quickly. Of course, vision has been taken back, and these camps are the name of the game. Continuous interrupt from both sides. Big stun does not connect onto Noah. Great blink away at the last second. Sun comes out onto Chuggy, gets the throwback, gets the taunt. They're going to try and pop ETC down. He finds the slide onto Cattle there. Big blinks coming out from Noah, making sure they aren't popped away. A couple of these mini fights every single time breaking out here. Couple of big cooldowns used, allowing Noah an opportunity to go in. There's the oil, and can Velocity push this in? They're gonna back it up. Try and see if they can't get a little bit of value elsewhere. They know that this is gonna be quite difficult for themselves. Seeing the second time around. Rainer taking quite a bit of damage. Maka doing a lot. Chuggy though goes very low. Bunker is dropped. The Caesar Salad loses their Eric the Swift 2 for nothing, or 1 1/4, depending on how you want to look at it, go down. And this should be objective. Getting a nice solid push from the side of VGM. But once again, here comes red team. And gosh, their comp is really quite annoying. They're continuously on this point, despite the fact that everyone is trying to come in. You know, they're really squishy. They're very mobile, and Blue's having a really hard time pushing it in. Out comes the taunt, does not connect, and actually a face full of orb to Cattle. Maka getting the exact same thing, losing half of his health, has to back away. Now, turret is up. Looks like the blue team is going to finish that as well. Let's see a little bit more coming out. Slide from ETC. Tiger very low. Recall from Tracer. Great stun from Cattle. Out comes the Tranquility. Everybody running. Li Ming has to use the blink so low. 16 to 15. It might be time for Velocity to get out. Great stun from Chuggy, and the members leave everybody alive. Nobody going down over this objective. Finally, someone looking to pick up this Samurai. We will see VGM grab it, is going to go over and just continue to push a little bit harder. Payload, been completely neglected at this point. We see Caesar Salady's thinking about it. He wants to grab it, but this fort seems to be a little bit more enticing to the side of VGM. Velocity not going to grab their turret. This also belongs to VGM, who have just full control over the map right now. Stun coming out, gets the throw onto Thrall. They're looking for ETC. Great slide out of the Earthquake, completely negating the ability. Everybody once again getting out. And this is really, I'm coming to understand the power of Velocity. They're a very, very squishy comp. They take these short, bursty fights, and you know, the whole thing is to be slippery. Be slippery, do a little bit of damage, then just run the heck away, come back in, be just as annoying, and then do it all over. It's been a really well done strategy. It's getting the job done. You know, they're losing a couple of things here and there, but 16 to 17, down a level, but not down and out as bad as they could have been. Taking a look back here at these talents. Samurai once again picked up from the side of VGM here. Another chance looking to engage. Poor Cattle just would like to get a throw, but every time he tries to run up, there's some ability, some auto, some just harassing trait about the red team that doesn't allow him to do much of anything. They finally find the Viking. They're going to use that large and in charge to get the stun, but Olaf does end up falling here. And now Vikings are pushing in that objective. They will get it. Play again was used there, but the keep is being pushed on the side of red. So they're trading out here. Maybe not necessarily the best trade, but they do end up finding a little bit more value as the fort is going to most likely go down here in this bottom lane. Samurai Camp does finally fall, and the members of Blue feel their time is limited here. Vespertine very low, has to pop that Pyromania, steps away. Great stun by Cattle, and everybody just backing out. Great knockback. Cattle looking to run back in before finally heading back away. Out comes that pulse bomb onto Maka. VGM, oh my god, Heavy, he's trying to keep him alive, and he does. Great job there by Heavy. Maka, who had negative health for a moment, makes it out alive. Really fantastic on a play there. What a close call. Great job by the Blue support. It's just, oh man, if I'm Maka, my cheeks are bruised. They're clenched so tight in that fight. Really, really well done. Camp's gonna be taken this time around. Vision picked up by VGM. Samurai finally picked up by the side of Velocity. Now, Eric will fall. Flies a little bit too close to the sun there. Sentinel Camp will be back up in another 22 seconds. But for now, once again, Vision going over to the side of Velocity. Looking for the play here now. Trying to find the fight before 20. VGM is closer to 20 here, having gotten those extra structure damages while moving around. So Velocity can look for something before that happens. Should be a good call. Sentinel Camp, only thing left alive on this map. Are we going to see a gank onto Tiger? He's hanging back fairly safe, but here comes Chuggy, tries to use the wind walk. Mosh comes out comes the root, out comes the post bomb. They really wanted to lock him down, using everything there for Thrall. You see him pop that Wind Fury, try to get away, but nothing he could do. The way Chucky came in was really, really smooth. They even end up taking one of those towers before heading back just in time for this objective. And I think really, really great call on their part, because now 20 will be a lot faster. They get that extra boost of experience, and we do have the 20s online for VGM. Do they end up taking the fight here? Are they going to wait? They have the 20, but they're down the man. It's kind of the conundrum. What is more powerful? 5-man or the level 20? They're all the way back up in 10 seconds. Payload has been dispersed. Gonna see a little bit of a start on it, but vision, vision, vision. You can't let your enemy know where you are. So Velocity going to pick that up before heading back in. Set up a bush gank, but Vespertine sniffs it out. Samurai has respawned. Push coming in from the side of VGM. They have everybody back. They have the level 20. Now we're looking for the big fight. Both keeps in a state of disarray. Too big a fight here could potentially end the game for one of these teams. Ending the series or bringing us to a game number 5, but it looks like the members of Velocity don't want to contest any further. They're just willing to trade over this objective in turn for this Samurai camp. Meanwhile, big ol' wave up here in the top lane. Vespertine is on the case, though, going to clear it. And that is going to be a turret taken over. Everybody just in kind of this lull where they are looking to try and grab the soak, try and grab the camps right now, and then see if they can't find their opponents slipping up. So it's all about looking around, finding the vision, finding whatever you can take with what you've got. Great broccoli there from Nintori. I always forget that he's not the Vikings right now, so Salad is usually the support. But Nintori on the Malfurion, gonna drop the broccoli so we can take that front wall. Now red team just scattering away. Gonna look to go help out Olaf here in the top lane, and if they can just continue to do that, they're actually gonna look for the flank. It looks like Catalyst spotted him out, so everybody's gonna back off. Tries to find the baby Eric, not gonna be able to do so. Now Tracer just trying to push down some of these walls, find a way. Oh goodness, it's a Viking. Okay. One of the Vikings goes down. We'll be able to come back, play again. Will be available in 3 seconds, so we should see that used momentarily. As I said, meanwhile, Tracer just trying to grab some of these extra spots that make it hard for vision. Out come the ports. Taunt come out onto 2 members. Tracer already hard back. This is disastrous for Velocity. Li Ming is the first to fall. Chuggy gets thrown away, is running for his life. Caesar Salad trying to interrupt onto the sleep dart, does not connect. Mounted heroes running to try and cut him off, but he's running for his life. There's the anti-heal. Maka trying to get after him with the speed. Slow comes out. Great slide onto 3 members. Is finally just going to die, realizing that staggering the death is going to be more detrimental than helpful to the team. This is going to be so rough for Velocity. Will lose this keep up here in the top lane. That might have even lost him the game. We'll have to see, as we do have the turret still available. It has been thrown down. It's just Vikings, Malfurion, and Tracer left to try and defend this. That is going to be Malfurion going down. Noah is going to chase down Maka, but it's very, very low. The team is so squishy. Out comes the taunt. Raynor goes down, but 79% on the core. Mysticles has returned. A down goes Ana, down goes Thrall. It's 63%. It might not be enough, though. It's just Cattle now. Finds the stun onto Noah, not able to get back in the base. 62%. Vespertine will go down. All 5 members of the side of VGM go down. And now this is the death march for Velocity. Can they turn it around? Can they do the exact same thing? Gonna look to push up here, but their lane isn't quite as pushed. Their team comp doesn't siege as well as the members of VGM. The keep is low, so they're gonna step up to do that. ETC is back. They won't have Tracer for another 30 seconds. Malfurion for another 8. That's another 18 seconds until Ana and Thrall are up. Those are going to be the first to be up. Maka actually will be the first there with 6 seconds. He does quite a bit of damage at level 20. Could maybe look to grab onto either Mysticles or Caesar Salad, who might just die to minions himself. Is very low. Does have to play again, but Mosh Pit comes out. There is Olaf going down, 49% on the core. Play again is good. Ana is here as well. They're trying to hold it down, 22% though. Li Ming has died, but Chuggy and the Vikings are here, 3%, 2%, and that is going to be game number 3 or 4 and your series going over to the side of Velocity. Well done, team. 9-10, a very close nail biter of a game, which once again looks so strong for VGM up until the end. Velocity playing it so slow, so carefully, just waiting, baiting, hoping, letting the Vikings run around, do whatever they want, coming in with this quick pick combo and then dashing out. Just, I can only imagine how frustrating the side of VGM it must have been to play these games, and finally in the end just ended up coming up short there. So really, really well done for the side of Team Velocity. Gonna go ahead and drop it over to the talents here so you guys can take a look. Core, yeah, it was a really, really strong core defense, and well done. You know, not having some of those heroes, ETC not being up, was like, I don't know, man. I think this might be it. We'll be going to game number 5. But in the end, it was just really, really well, careful, slow play by Velocity. So great job by them, bringing us to game number 3. And that's it. So congratulations to them. I'm going to bring it back over to me right now. So that's all we have for you guys this evening. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Thank you, June, for the host. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate the viewers of June for coming and stopping on by, watching our NGS Storm Division. We have these every single week. Like I said, next week is going to be at the end of the regular season. And then from there, we go into playoffs. So it's going to be really exciting. The top 6 teams make it on through to playoffs. And then to the end, where, of course, like I said, one team will win that $1,300 prize pool, which you can still contribute to by going to !Matcherino in the chat, and then, of course, donating to them. Toucher thinks that we can make it a $2,000 prize pool. He thinks the Heroes of the Storm community is generous, and, you know, I believe that, too. So, would love to see you help and out and support our players there. Again, please support NGS. They put this all on. It's all volunteer work. Nobody is paid to do this. So, you know, Wedge, who is probably pulling his hair out, trying to figure out these matches every week, trying to find casters for it, making sure that our players show up on time. He's doing all of this. So big shout out. Thank you to Wedge. Thank you to all the admins who help us, you know, get rid of those bots, get rid of some of those trolls in chat, making sure that everything runs smoothly. We appreciate them. And you can support them by !Patreon in chat, which again, $1 a month, guys. You can help support NGS. And of course, last but not least, I'm Jinxie Cat. If you like my casting, if you like what I'm up to, you can !Casters in chat. Can Notori do an interview? Oh, goodness. We don't typically do interviews. Oh, I suppose. All right, we're going to get Notori in for an interview. So let me hop over to the NGS chat, and I will hop into lobby 1, where I guess we'll have an interview. Hello.
What's going on?
How are you feeling after that series? I mean, you pretty much just summed it up, but if you have any other words.
Well, we just always lose to that team, so it's nice
Yeah.
to win for a change.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in the nicest possible way, a lot of people were kind of coming in expecting to show up to a 3-0 stomp in favor of VGM. The first game was a little bit rough, and then from there on, you guys really hit the ground running and never stopped. So walk me a little bit through your thought process preparing for the game.
So let's see how toxic I want to be. Our bans definitely helped. I think that certain heroes being banned out forced the enemy team to play in certain ways. I think that was really helpful for us. So that was Noah's idea. I'll give credit where credit's due for the bans tonight. Other than that, I don't know. We've been practicing a lot lately. We've made some roster changes. So we're on the comeback. I think this is only our third win, but I think we definitely have a shot of making a run through the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. So after the first game, I mean, I have to go back through everything and see where we've come from, where we've gone, all that good stuff. Tomb of the Spider Queen was really, really back and forth, and they finally just ended up getting a couple of lucky kills on you guys. How did you really come back from that? Because, you know, sometimes the losses there can be a little bit troubling. Did you guys just say shake it off? We'll get them back game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's a little upset, especially because I felt like we were actually like in control for most of that game. Unfortunately,
yeah, it was one of the ones where they just lost until they won.
Yeah, we just gave them like a bad fight in an open area against like Genji 20, so we're just gonna get run over. But I don't know. We've been looking like this match was scheduled for last week. We've all been looking forward to like playing this match for a couple weeks now. So, I mean, we're not gonna just roll over and be sad. We definitely we're trying our butts off all night, I think.
Right. So you guys go on to game number 2, and then it's looking like it's really dominant for them as well. And then you guys kind of pull it back in the late game. You get you have the Junkrat, I believe. You guys had that game number 2, and that really helped. I felt there were a couple of times where they tried to come in and you just wouldn't allow it, and you were really able to destroy their front line. Like, walk me through game number 2.
I mean, they're just all in heroes. They don't play. It was just to go next, really. I mean, I'd had more damage than Gul'dan and Cassia. Like, what a joke. What a joke.
Yeah. So then game number 3, again, looking a little bit shaky. You guys, I think everyone is curious about how come you took that boss in the bottom lane, where you guys pulled off a really amazing combo where you had the Gust into the ETC and you grabbed the bottom lane, but then 2 of your heroes die and you end up losing the keep for it.
Oh, geez, there was like 3 failed boss attempts that game. So I honestly couldn't even remember which one you're talking about particular. Okay. But yeah, that game was definitely the sloppiest win. I don't know, maybe their draft was a little better, but I don't know. They just kind of trolled late game, so we just held together despite losing.
Right.
Yeah, we have really good boss control with like fall stats, so we can kind of just abuse that.
Right. So moving on to game number 4, because game number 1 was kind of spicy. Game number 2 and 3, like those were close, and but you guys managed to pull out the win. And then game number 4, I feel like is where we all kind of are like, huh. Because you pick Vikings on a 2-lane map, and I mean, I even said to chat, I'm like, I'm too gold for this. Like, I don't know what the play is here, but
yeah, I mean, all the Vikings one trick say it's like one of the best Vikings maps. I guess the idea is that you just kind of play it like we did. Like, you always have one Viking pressuring the Cardin, so they have to respond to that. You have one soaking the side lane, and then you have one just freed up to like stall rotations or just be in the 4-man. And like that game, a lot of our game plan was just like do a camp in one lane, force them to like take it back or clear the camp, and then like go pick off their off laner or push the like wall or something down there. We did that a lot that game.
So I was gonna transition into my next question in game number 4. Was the objective to farm Tiger, because he was just getting abused that game? I felt so bad for him.
Farming Tiger is just a side quest for the like ultimate goal of getting the core, but I love Tiger. I can't throw him under the bus too hard. It's I've been there where they just have heroes parked in your lane.
Yeah, just we're set up camp outside his base, and I would see him like he's gonna get this soak, and there's like one minion, and we'd see the Wind Fury come out, and I'm like, he's ready for it, and then Chuggy slid in with like this really slick power slide. I was like, that's really great positioning by him, and he just died, and I was like, oh, the poor baby.
Chuggy played really well that game, I think.
Yeah, you guys did a good job. And then, so was was the goal of the team comp, because you guys took a lot of really what, looked like kind of annoying fights for them to deal with, and that was just kind of your game plan going in, because you guys would all come in for probably maybe 10, 15 seconds, drop a couple of really low cooldown abilities, have a couple of low cooldown ults, and then you would just leave and go do something. Like, was that...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like our game plan was to like just keep invading their camps and like making them press their big R buttons, like Earthquake Bunker, and then just leaving. It worked out most of the time. A couple times we ended up dying for it. Usually just like not having vision of flanks, but yeah, most of the time, like if we get out their big R buttons, like the ones I mentioned, we can actually just win a 4v5. Like Tracer scales really hard to where we can just do that.
Yeah. So. In the end, you guys, you're getting that top keep. You're hearthing away. They find you. They pick off ETC. They go for the core. What are comms like? Because, that must have been kind of scary. Or were you guys just like, no, it's fine. We kill them and then we just win?
Well, I'm like cursing my teammates in my head, like, I can't believe you didn't just walk away. But of course, I have to stay positive in comms. So I just like muted my mic and let them do their thing. Yeah, it worked out. That core is actually pretty good. It doesn't seem like it at first, but those little rockets actually do a lot of damage. Like I think Monka lost like half his health bar just to rockets, and he was like a easy finish because he's all their core damage.
Right. Yeah, you guys were able to clean him up, and then I was like, I don't know. It's like Vikings Tracer isn't alive, but you guys cleaned it up so easily. So really, really nicely done. That's it for me. So if you have any shout outs, any call outs within reason. This is the NGS channel, so don't get me suspended.
Of course,
but the floor is all yours.
Well, shout out to everyone on my team. I think 4 out of 5 of us are signed up for CCL, so I'll just plug all of us. I think all of us are, not to like toot anyone's horn, but like kind of underrated. I think that a lot of us don't have like HGC experience, but all of us have been grinding this game really hard since the pro sync cancellation. When we're on our A game, we're definitely on our A game. Yeah. Outside of that, shout out to our org Velocity. Shout out to CPX, though we are no longer the CPX fan club. He just was trolling me on Storming a little too hard. I had to.
Of course.
I had to forego the name.
Get rid of him.
And shout out to Heavy for being super free.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you guys. Good luck to you in CCL, because honestly, I agree. I think you guys do a really wonderful job. And, the draft's tomorrow, so try to get some sleep, and good luck to you guys. You played an awesome series tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening and you go celebrate with your team. Have some fun.
We will. Thank you for casting. Hope the games were fun to watch.
They were really fun. You guys put on quite a show.
Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for me, for real. Again, yeah, that interview was for you. I usually don't do interviews on Storm Division because, I don't know. I think a lot of it is because I cast a lot of Team Alexander, and there's a little bit of a language barrier for us. But support NGS, support your players, support your casters, give those biddies, give those subbies, hop over to Patreon, drop a couple of bucks in Match Arena. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Again, my name is JinxieCat, !casters in chat, or you can go over to twitch.tv/JinxieCat. You can see where I go live. I do lots of casting for NGS and other organizations. We do a lot of silly fun Heroes of the Storm games. We play a lot of Wet Warcraft, so, you know, if you like pre-patch, we've been doing some of that lately. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.